In this video, we'll be doing the taste testing of the Brew Demon One Evil Pilsner beer that we started several weeks ago. We're going to look at color, we're going to look at taste, and we're going to see if this is something we can recommend to make sometime again. Okay, it's now been a week. It's time to start putting our beer into bottles. First thing we need to do is that we need to prepare the beer for carbonation. And in order to do that, we need to add 1 teaspoon of sugar per 16-ounce bottles of beer. And that process looks like this. Now, of course, there are more bottles that I need to fill, but there's no point in watching me put sugar in the bottles. So we'll go ahead and finish that up. And the next thing we're going to do is start filling the bottles. Okay, now that we've attached our siphon hose to the fermenter and inserted it into our first bottle, all we need to do is turn the tap and start the process. Okay, out of that 2-gallon batch of beer we started, we ended up with 2, 4, 6 16-ounce bottles of beer, 1 32-ounce bottle, 3 40-ounce bottles of beer, and there's really nothing left to bottle. So we will now put this aside in a dark place for the next week. After that week is done and the carbonation is built up, we will then put them in the fridge and it's beer time. Okay, it's now been over 2 weeks since we first started brewing our first batch of Brew Demon One Evil Pilsner beer. It's now time to give you first observations and first taste. This has now been refrigerated for a couple of hours. Observation is that on the bottom, because this is unfiltered beer, there is a layer of yeast sediment. I don't know if you can see that from there, but basically, be mindful of that. It's just yeast. It won't kill you. Let's see how it does with carbonation. Let's see how carefully I can do this in case there's a lot of carbonation. Okay, just a very little pop, no real bubbling at the top. I now see bubbles beginning to form. Let's see if I can get any kind of a head with this. That's an encouraging sign. Actually, that's a very encouraging sign. Let me cut down on the amount of head. Not too bad. Not too bad. See if I can get a little sip of this without, once I get past this huge layer of foam on the top. I guess in the old movies, they used to have this little, in some of the bar scenes you would see, they would fill it up to the top where it would start overflowing, and they take a stick and scrape off the excess foam, but I don't have one of those, so I ain't gonna use one of those. Let's see if I can, that was good. Got a nice bite to it. Just a tad bit of sweetness, but that's okay. Color is good. Make sure I give it a real good test here. It's got a very smooth finish to it. Not bad. Not bad for my first effort. First time making beer. I done made beer. All right. It's got more flavor than your standard, well, let's just say it's got more flavor than some of your beers out there on the commercial market. Is this better than... Is it better than some of the beers that I've bought? Yes. Is it better than the beer that has the use of the Clydesdale horses for their commercials? Yes. Is it as good as say a Heineken or a Beck's? Not quite. It'd be great if I could find that recipe. But is it a beer that I can make again? Yeah, I can make. I can make this again. It's something I can sit back and enjoy, knowing that this is something that I made, as opposed to something I went to the store and bought. 2 gallons gives me this much beer. Because I'm here in the Carolinas, it does tend to get hot during summers. We have weeks and weeks of 90-degree temperatures, so I can see myself going through this at a fairly good clip. Of course, you should always drink in moderation, but yeah, I can see myself going through this at a fairly good clip. Yeah, this is not bad. It's not bad. I'd like to try some of their other products, but as a first-time effort for making beer, basically all mixings in a can, this is not bad. I would like to try it at a later point, making beer that has all of the basic ingredients, the malt and the barley and the hops and all of that as separate components, so that I can begin to experiment with making different types of beer. But this is basically, as I said before in the first part of the video, beer making is in a can. This makes a fixed product. Basically, this is not going to vary much from one can to the next if you continue to buy this type of product. But as a starter, as something that if somebody just starting out making a home brew, yeah, it's a good start. I'm not disappointed at all. Not disappointed at all. Now I'm gonna look at it. This is actually kind of a lot. This is like 2 weeks worth of beer here. But again, there you go. This was the taste test of the Brew Demon One Evil Pilsner beer. I'm gonna enjoy.